Hey there, this is Catherine Cartwright. Welcome to ScrapbookPal channel. I've got some Honeybee stamp products I'm going to be working with today. I've got the big, bold birthday stamp set that has 4 adorable sentiments in it. And there is a coordinating die set that I'm going to use as well. And then there is the 3D Rosette die set that includes all the pieces you need to make 3D rosettes, but you can also have 2D rosettes as well, and I'll show you that at the end. All right, so I'm going to begin by, I have cut 3 pieces of the yellow cardstock for my smaller piece of rosette, and then I'm using orange cardstock for my larger rosette. So I'm going to run each piece through my die cutting machine so you can just see what it looks like, and then I'll finish those off camera and bring those back to you. So I'm just going to run these through, and you can see that you'll get the beginning workings of the pieces that you're going to need to use to create your rosette. So here is what it looks like. Here's the larger piece, and then here is the smaller piece. Then I'm going to begin gluing these together. I'm going to put a mat underneath just to keep my surface clean because I am going to use Bearly Arts liquid glue. On this yellow piece, you can see that there's a little half side of the segment that is unfinished basically, and I'm going to use the little half piece right here. I'm going to glue my full piece on top of there so you can see that it lines up perfectly, and I'm going to take a second here to get it just where it needs to go. But this one has kind of what I'm calling a half segment. These have score lines in them which will allow you to fold to create the rosette shape once we get them all glued together. So after I glue this third piece down, I'm going to laid that full piece on top of the half, and I'm going to let that dry really, really well. When you're using liquid glue, especially with something like this, you want to be generous, but you also want to let it dry really, really well. Get those fibers wet in your paper, and then it will stick really well. All right, so this one has a full segment, so to speak, and I am going to glue, again, I'm gluing on top. So I'm taking one segment and I'm gluing it on top of the other one. Okay, and then I will continue this process. I'm going to take one, add some glue to it, and then I will add the same segment on top of it so it's even. And then I will continue this with all 5 of my pieces. And then we can start folding in a second once we get things glued together. So again, adding some glue, and I am being very generous to that segment, and then I'm going to glue this little piece of the rosette on top. So things are coming together nicely. You can see the little segments that you're creating to help create this circle. All right, I'm going to get this one lined up just so, and then I can add my last piece here. When I'm satisfied, I will finish off this last little segment, again being very generous with the glue. All right, this one, and again, I'm going to let it dry really, really well and come back to it. And once I'm happy with that, I will come back and start folding. All right, so you're going to do, I think it's like an accordion, you can call it accordion style, or I've also heard like a mountain and valley. So you're going to fold to it, toward you, and then away from it. And you can see you get this little kind of mountain and valley or an accordion fold going on. So you're just going to take a second here, and it folds pretty easy. This one takes, the smaller one is a little bit, you've got to kind of pinch the top a little bit, but the crease lines or the score lines are really very good, and so it's really quite easy to fold this. So I'm just kind of holding this in my hand and showing you how it will bunch up, and then I will keep folding that. I just wanted you to see that because I'm holding it in my hand. I know it's a little bit harder to see. So you're just going to keep working it backwards and forward, and then you'll have your little mountain and valley. And then again, I'm just kind of pinching the top, and it folds really well at the top where that little kind of pointed piece is. All right, so once I get everything folded together, and I'm just making sure my little segments that I glued together are folded correctly. And then when I'm satisfied that everything is in the correct direction, I'm going to glue these together. So I'm just going to take the one little piece there and glue this, and I'm just getting the right direction that I want it to go. And then I'm going to add my adhesive on here. When I can see that I've got the little mountain and valley still going there, and I'm going to glue this together. And it will be a continuous circle. You can see that, and again, I will let that dry really, really well. Okay, and then I can flip that over, and you're going to bunch it around. I'm going to come back to that in a minute. I'll do some hot gluing for both of them. So I'm going to continue this same process, so backward and forward. I'm going to use that fold line, and it's on the larger one. It's even easier because it's just a bigger piece of paper. But kind of laying it on my mat gives me the opportunity to fold it down. You could use a bone folder if you wanted to. I did not find that I needed that extra step, but you certainly could to get a very crisp line. The score lines are nice and deep, so I did not struggle with that. Now on this one, you can see I've got my little mountain and valley going here. I am going to fold over 2 sections. So can you see that? I've got 1, 2, and then I'm going to glue 2 sections over to make this into a circle. So you will take a full 2 segments there to glue that down to keep your circle intact with the mountain and the valley fold, or the accordion fold, whatever you wish to call it. And you can see that works well. All right, so I've got some hot glue here. I've got a little mat, and I am going to kind of pinch it. You kind of pinch it together and hold it with your hand, and then you can add the circle on top. I'm going to add the circle after I run some hot glue around there. I'm going to kind of put it in the middle and then around the edges, and I'll take one of my circles and pop that on top. And I'm going to want to hold that for a second or two. You really want to let that hot glue dry for a second before you begin messing with that. You could add a little something on top of it if you wanted to. Now, I like to add both sides for my rosette to make a really secure rosette. And also, if you wanted to make a banner with this, something that was hanging and you might see both sides, you would want to finish it. You don't have to finish the second side if you don't want to. But again, if you wanted to use this product as a banner, which I think would be super cute to maybe do for a holiday, or you could do like a 4th of July theme or something. You could do red, white, and blue rosettes and make a fun banner. I would want to have the finished sides on both. So that's why I'm adding both of my little circles. Just to show you that, I'm not going to make a banner in this video, but just for an idea, you would want to finish that off. Okay, so I've taken my second one here, repeated the same process, smushed it together. You push it down in the center, and then once I have a nice little adhesion there, I'll add the other side of my rosette. And I have a very firm and secure rosette that I can do a lot of fun things with. And then you'll want to let those dry as well. The hot glue doesn't take too long, but I find hot glue is the most effective thing for rosettes. I'm going to stamp some of my sentiments here. I'm using Party Dress, and I'm just going to, since there are 4 stamps in there, I'm just going to stamp 3 of those, and then I can die cut them, and I can choose which one I have. I can use one later. So that just is a little quick tip. If you've got a little small stamp set like that, it works really well to go ahead and stamp a bunch, or at least 3 or 4 at a time, and then you've got some in your craft stash. All right, I pulled a piece of fun patterned paper from my craft stash, and I am going to add this that I cut to 4 inches by 5 1/4. I'm going to glue this onto a piece of pink cardstock, and then this will be finished off onto an A2 sized card base, which is 4 1/4 inches by 5 1/2, and I'm using a blue just so it kind of coordinates with my patterned paper. And now I've got some fun elements here that are ready to come together to create this card. I've got the rosettes here that I want to add, and then this sweet sentiment. So I'm going to glue, since I added that second circle, I'm just going to glue directly onto my paper. You could use, if you wanted to pop it up even further, but it has such great dimension right now for the card that I'm just going to glue it directly onto. I want to place my Make-A-Wish here so that I leave plenty of room for it, and then I'll add my second rosette to my card. Now you could add something additional to your rosette if you wanted to, if you had another small shape like a little heart or a star or something. I did not add that to this card, but you certainly could add something more to the center if you wanted to. And I'm going to use a little bit of this foam. These are the little variety pack of the foam adhesive squares in the store that I love so much. And I just trimmed these down. I needed them a little tiny bit smaller. And so I just trimmed those down, and I'm using my little pokey tool here to remove the backing. And I've got some runaway ones. So I need to grab that one off my scissors. And then once I've got all my adhesive placed and my backing paper removed, I'm ready to adhere this to my card. And I love the die set, the Stampin' die set. I love how it cuts around the sentiments. I think that's a very great trend I've seen in card making, and I particularly love these from Honeybee. All right, everything is dry, and I am going to put a card inside. Since I had this extra die cut sentiment, I wanted to add it inside of my card, so I'm just adding some glue on this, keeping this flat. And I have a piece of white cardstock that I cut to 4 inches by 5 1/4 to add inside. So I thought that would be sweet. Make a wish, happiest of birthday wishes to you, to finish off the inside of my card. We don't often show the insides of our cards, but I like to when I can in a video, just to show the little added step you can make. A lot of times I will have that ready, and then when I need to write a card, it's ready to go. Sometimes I forget to do this step, but I wanted to share that with you. Okay, so now I have to finish this off with some glitter glue. These fun little, this little pattern paper I thought would look sweet with some little dots of glitter glue here. I did apply a little too much. My bottle was tipped upside down and I pushed a little too hard, so I'm just going to take a piece of paper there and remove that and do a quick repair. Sometimes those things happen. So I'll fix this and be a little more gentle with my squeeze. And then I'm going to add these just kind of randomly on these little circles to add a little bit of shine here to finish off my card, my birthday card. This very fun, cheerful, dimensional birthday card. But again, with the rosettes, I think it would be super fun to make a banner as well. You could use these for a lot. You could use these on a gift for like a little tag kind of thing. You could just do a bunch with them. And then I'm going to finish off this one with one more little dot. And then when I find them, when I'm satisfied, I will let those dry really well. And I'll have a little bit of sparkle on my card. All right. Super, super cute. And that is how you make the rosettes using the 3D Rosette die from Honeybee Stamps. And there's the inside again with an extra sentiment. Okay, so here is everything dry. You can see a little bit of that shine and sparkle. I also wanted to take a second to just show you, I made an additional card off camera. I just kept this flat, so just 2-dimensional for maybe a graduation card, sending congrats, we're so happy for you. I used the Spellbinders postal stamp set. I'll link that in the description. But I just wanted to show you that you could use it as 3D. Or keep your card flat. So thanks so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to ScrapbookPal, and I'll see you next month. Have a great day.